Okay, so Jeremy, your numbers. Your goal was 50 conversations this last week. How many did you have?
I actually did a lot more. I did six. Let's see, hold on. 79.
Awesome. How many appointments did you have?
6.
Awesome. How many listings did you take?
I didn't take any listings, but I signed another buyer's agreement.
Okay, so
No,
I'm going to go ahead.
Sorry.
Contracts written?
3.
So you wrote 3 contracts. Did any of them get accepted?
No, I'm waiting for one today that should come back. Hopefully they'll get accepted. My poor buyers keep getting beat out.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's tough. And no closings, right?
No, not yet.
Okay, so how many contacts do you want to make next week?
I'm going to keep with the 50, although now it's getting a lot more fun, so I don't know. 50, and then I'll go with the 8 appointments. I'll try to get 8.
Listings taken?
I want to take 1 listing.
Contracts written?
3?
And closings?
Not yet. I mean, I'm coming within weeks of being able to do that, but yeah.
Good for you.
Awesome, Jeremy. Sorry, I'm tired today, guys. I went off my caffeine today, so this is day 1.
No refreshers?
No refreshers, just for 7 days. I can
Watch
do it
out,
for
people.
7 days.
Watch out.
I know. It's a good thing I started today, because let me tell you, if this was on Friday, I'd be like, ah!
Go through withdrawals.
Okay, Gigi.
Hi, yeah, I only spoke with 8 people last week. I had a busy week last week.
So good. Good for you.
Yeah, good, busy.
Start.
I had one of my listing went under contract.
How many appointments did you make last week?
I made 2, but it's not directly to a consumer because I'm concentrating on becoming a senior real estate specialist.
Okay, so
Yeah.
So it wasn't a consumer, but you made 2 appointments to get into business with people.
Yes.
Listings taken.
None yet.
Okay, contracts written.
I did 2 last week.
You personally wrote 2. You didn't receive any on your listings. You personally wrote 2.
That I get confused. So no, I didn't personally write it down. I did a counter offer.
Okay, so that's no offers.
That's
You
not-
received, but you
I
received
received.
an offer on one of your listings.
Yes.
Closings?
Not yet.
I'm so sorry for the yawning.
That's okay. I can't do that. I need my coffee.
I hear you. Gigi.
719 through 725. How many contacts do you want to make?
I am targeting 20.
Good job.
Yeah.
Make it happen. How many appointments do you want?
I'd like 2.
Okay, how many listings do you want to take?
I'd like 2.
Okay, contracts written.
At least 1.
Are you working with a buyer?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, and still 0 closings, right?
Yes.
Haley, your goal was 20 contacts. How many did you do?
I don't remember setting a goal last week, but I think I did about 10.
You may not have. I may have just copy and pasted this.
That's
I
fine.
think your goal was 5 appointments, was it?
No,
Did you go on any appointments this week?
no, I didn't.
Okay, and what about listings taken?
0,
And written contracts?
0,
And closings were 0, right?
0, yeah.
But let's talk about setting some goals this week. What would you like to do?
I would like to do the 20.
Awesome. And then how many appointments would you like to go on?
I'd like to have at least 2 appointments.
Okay, awesome. And then listings taken, would you like to take any?
I would like at least 1.
Okay. And
then-
contracts written?
1.
Okay, and closings are going to be 0, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so and one of the things that we talk about at Keller Williams International is when we set our goals, these are your goals, But one of the things we want to be looking at is the pipeline. So you could meet a buyer and write a contract this week, because we refer to that as kind of the low hanging fruit, the easier fruit, right? You could get a lead call and they're ready to buy today. Getting a listing in the same week is tougher. So setting your appointments up or setting your goals to hit one listing, which you all just did, if you don't have someone in the pipeline, it's going to be tougher to hit that. So I want you to keep setting goals, but we're going to move that conversation come August to reality, right? Because we're reviewing our pipeline. We're taking a look at our pipeline. Did anyone bring their pipeline to share? Jeremy, you're muted.
I know. I'm thinking. So I'm not using the pipeline. I guess the document, but I am using the opportunities a lot, and using the leads, calling the leads that I'm getting, and then putting them in the pipeline, using the checklist and using the opportunities. And for example, today I contacted one of the leads, and she was definitely looking in Benton City. I used the LP Mama script. She's looking for Benton City. Her kids have a winery there. She's going to be selling. Price point was correct. So she's going to be listing and then also buying. And she's been in the area for a while. So she said she wanted to be on the biweekly nurturing and then have me call her every 3 to 5 weeks and see where she's at until she's ready to move. So.
And that was a command lead.
Correct. That was a lead off a command.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey, Bill, how many contacts did you make this past week?
I make 12 contacts.
Awesome. How many appointments did you go on?
I went on 3 appointments.
Awesome. Listings taken?
I thought I had one, but the problem is they are overwhelmed with the moving, and but I think I'm going to get it, but I don't know. But one of the appointments that I had was actually yesterday in Walla Walla, and the guy is thinking in selling the business there and also selling the house, because they really want to move to Tri-City. So I have something, like getting online, but
Good.
it takes
Yeah,
time,
it's going to show up. That's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. So
Contracts
and I
written.
also went to in Walla Walla while I was there. I will do some network with people that I knew so it was a good trip. I talked a lot of people who didn't know that I'm in real estate, so I have the chance to talk to them, and it's going.
Bill,
No contracts.
Bill,
Yes.
this is very important.
Yes.
Everybody pay attention. If you go to Walla Walla, you must eat at the gas station on 2nd and Rose. It's called Andres. They have like some of the best tacos on the planet. And I've eaten a lot of tacos all over the United States. The best tacos are in Austin, Texas, but the second best tacos are in Walla Walla. If you ever go back, Bill, you have to stop and get the brisket tacos.
Okay. Also, I go to Yucaperi. You know Yucaperi on 9th Street? And
No, are they good?
It's a good one too. It's more Mexican, more Mexican style. It's pretty good also.
I'll try it out. Okay, so no contracts written and no closings
contracts.
yet.
Not closing. Hopefully by the 10.
Good for you.
Awesome. So how many contacts do you want to make this week?
I want to make 15.
Awesome. And how many appointments?
5.
Okay, and you're going to take that listing, right?
Hopefully.
And contracts written.
Well, I hope to. No, I don't know.
Let me get some clarity. Contracts written is a contract you write for a buyer on a house.
Yeah.
And we should only count the ones, technically, starting August 1st, let's only count the contracts that actually stick, that are actually accepted, okay?
Yeah.
So
probably
0?
Probably 0, yeah.
And then closings is still going to be 0 for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, Okay, and even though you keep coming, Tila, we don't have you down here, so. All right. All right, so we're gonna jump into the needs-based or questions-based listing appointment like we were supposed to do last week and we never got around to it. So I'm going to need some volunteers. I'm actually gonna voluntold Jeremy and Tila. You're married. Now, you can set the stage if you want to be getting a divorce or you're happily married or whatever, but we're going to do a questions-based listing appointment so that a lot of you want to know, like, how much fancy paperwork should you have, and you know, how should you show up? And there's a one-step listing appointment and there's a two-step listing appointment. I personally do the one-step listing appointment. And that being said, that takes a lot of years of practice typically, but I don't want to have a limiting belief around your capabilities, right? Like, I'm disappointed Braylon's not Braylon. I'm disappointed that Sam's not here tonight because she had such success last week. I'm sure she's busy doing something, but I'm sure she had no clue she could make 4 appointments with for sale by owners, right? And this would have been good for her to be here and hear this, but we are going to go ahead and do a questions-based listing appointment. I want to change my view a little bit. Speaker view, gallery view, and I want to minimize, exit full screen. All right, well, I can't seem to do it much differently, but all right, so you prepared, Tila and Jeremy? Go ahead and unmute yourselves.
I'm unmuted. I think, I don't know if Tila is.
Nope, can't hear you, Tila.
Actually, sorry, my wife is mute. Is mute. She can't speak. She has no voice. She just mouths out words. You have to read her lips. I'll translate for her though.
Boy, that would be tough.
She just said it was correct what I said, and she likes tacos too. Just one, she says. Just one.
Jeremy's already in trouble.
I believe this is going to be a divorce scenario.
She said
Which,
no. She couldn't think of anything better. So I don't know.
I shouldn't joke because I'm very anti-divorce, actually. No judgment. I've been through one myself, but.
See, now she's plugging in her Whisper 2000. She'll be able to hear soon.
He can't hear you. Nope.
Tila, were you talking? Was it working earlier?
Yeah, it worked before.
Actually, she just cusses a lot, and she's being censored. That's what the deal is. Zoom has her censored on this.
What, do you want to hop out and hop back in?
Could you check on the tacos when you do that? Okay.
You're in a rare mood this afternoon, Jeremy.
Oh, I don't think he's in a rare mood. I think he's just been given too much freedom. This is exactly how Jeremy is.
Yes, that's correct.
Hey, Jeremy, that high school photo of you earlier today was awesome.
You know what? I thought I had that thing hidden really well, and apparently I didn't. I'm gonna have to.
Haley, I'll have to show you the picture of Jeremy's high school photo. That Karina's also very funny.
It's a good thing she got that one because the other ones are worse.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
There you are.
I want a divorce.
So here's Jeremy's high school photo.
Oh,
Oh, wow. Is that when you fell in love with him, Tila?
it was.
She doesn't like me with all my hair gone back here.
Okay. All right. Are you guys ready? You're both on the same screen, so that actually works out. Thank you so much, Mr. and Mrs. Chambers, for inviting me over to your home. And tonight, I just want to, I have some questions for you before we talk about price and marketing. I want you to understand that as an experienced agent or as an agent at Keller Williams or whatever you feel comfortable saying, right, that I have a very specific process. I promise you that I have a very specific process. And what I have found is that actually creating a process around what you need makes more sense than just a blanket process. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
to me.
questions I'm going to ask first. And I'm going to go ahead and make a copy. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in the PC drive so we can share it with you. Okay, so sometimes it disappears. So I need to see if I am doing it like, I think if I minimize it, then it won't disappear. Perfect.
That's what Tila says every time I can't find anything. She just said sometimes it just disappears, and that's it.
Yep.
Now, listen, Jeremy, I can appreciate your sense of humor. I need you to be focused so that everybody gets the best out of this. If everybody could mute yourselves besides Tila and Jeremy, that way when they speak, I'll actually be able to see them because I had to minimize the screen. So tell me now, tell me why now is the time for you to sell your home.
We're just ready to move out of this one. We're just ready to move up, I think.
And I think on both of our sides, we need a bigger closet.
Definitely. Need more space. We just kind of outgrown this house.
It would also help if we could have, because we both run businesses and are on calls at different times and stuff like that. So having like a separate room we could use as an office would be a benefit.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. Is there anyone else that's impacted by this decision?
No. No, it's just us.
Okay. What is your time frame?
I don't know. What do you think, Jeremy?
I don't like to move in the winter. So it either needs to happen before the weather starts getting bad, or we have to wait until, I guess, the spring.
Okay. What would be a drop dead date for you? Like November 1st, sold, closed, and moved into your new home by November 1st?
That would
I
be
think that'd be
ideal.
nice. Yeah.
So we'd really need to have you sold by no later than October 1st.
Yes.
I could see that.
That is about 10 weeks away. Let me ask you this. You don't want to move. You're willing to wait till spring. How important is that time frame?
I mean, with everything going on and us working at home more, it's getting a little more challenging. So it's important, but we've been dealing with it this long.
I would say if I had to say a preference, I would rather move before winter than have to wait until spring, especially if we don't know if we're going to be more locked down later on, if anything comes up again with viruses.
Okay, and what is your plan B if you don't meet your time frame?
We would just stay and wait until like spring for right now.
Yeah, we just have to adapt.
Okay, so I'm going to include you as a for sale by owner. So I'm going to include the for sale by owner questions I ask as well. I'm going to share with you guys my screen real quick just to show you that I have this questions based out. Here's for sale by owner, and then here's all, right? Like, so these are the questions that I ask. If you're for sale by owner, have extra questions. So Let me ask you, how long have you been marketing your home?
Tila's been doing more of that than I have, so I'll let her answer that one.
I had it on for about 3 weeks.
Great. How many showings have you had?
We've had about 3.
So
We
why
want
do
to
you
make sure that
think,
we have pre-approved, people that are coming through.
okay. So I went ahead and looked on Zillow because I don't know if you can tell that Zillow actually provides the amount of people who've looked at your house. Why do you think that you've had, it looks like about 350 people have seen your home on Zillow and have not come see it?
I don't know, honestly. We've done a lot to the house. We've done a lot of upgrades to the house. This was our starter home, so we did a lot to it. We put in the HVAC. We did a new roof recently. All the hardwood floors. So, we put some money into it. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm gonna say it's the virus. Everybody's been on lockdown and irritated. Probably not as many people have jobs going on. We're doing okay, but I'm just gonna say there's probably that.
Okay. And what else are you doing to market your home?
I put it on Craigslist a couple times and I didn't really get anything off of that either.
I have in a couple Facebook groups too.
Awesome. What else?
That's pretty much it. I mean, obviously it's on Zillow. You can see it on Realtor.com when you look it up, and so it's up there on the internet.
Did we ever do that thing that MLS thing that they do that they barely charge anything and they put it on the MLS? I don't remember if we did that or not.
No, we haven't, but that was going to be one of my next things to look at.
Okay.
Okay, so you've done all of these things and you've only had 3 showings.
Yes.
Are you getting the results you want?
No, not really. I mean, I know the market's pretty hot right now, so I'm not sure. Maybe we're priced a little high. But like I said, we did a lot. We did a lot to this house. We put in a lot of years, so we think it's worth it for that. If someone wants to come into this neighborhood and pay this, I mean, it's definitely worth it.
What do you think, Jeremy? Because you mentioned earlier that you think the reason why it hasn't sold is COVID and the virus. And Tila, you think the market's hot. Where are you guys at with that? What do you think, Jeremy?
Well,
Why do you think that you're not getting the results you want?
well, like I said, I think the virus. I think people are just afraid to go into somebody's house when somebody's living there, not knowing what's going on. And I mean, we can let everybody know we're being clean about everything, but once they see the inside of the house, I mean, I know because like Tila said, we did a lot of work and we used really quality stuff. So I mean, I know it cost us a lot of money to do what we did, and we did it like we we're going to stay here forever. So it's not like we did a bunch of cheap work or something like that. So the only thing I can think of is it's got to be that. It's got to be COVID. And I would imagine the houses that are selling are probably empty houses.
Okay. What do you currently love about your home? What do you love about your home that you currently live in?
We like I know I do. I think it works for both of us. The open concept. We've got the open concept kitchen and living room, so that way, I can be in the kitchen and watching the game and hanging out with everybody when we have people over.
Yep. And I like the deck in the backyard. It's awesome for barbecues. If we had a bigger closet and more space, like I said, for offices, we'd just stay here, I think.
Right. I agree.
And the neighbors are cool. It's been a good neighborhood.
So you've already mentioned a few things that'll be important in your next home. You mentioned office space and closet space. What else do you want?
A good neighborhood, definitely. I think we have great neighbors here that we get along with, and so we really like that community feel. So wherever we move to, we'll be able to kind of like hop into a little community again.
Okay, what else?
It wouldn't be a deal breaker, but I want a pool. If we got to go through another lockdown summer like this, I'm in the pool all the time.
I don't blame you there. I want one too. So the pool's not a deal breaker, but it sounds like office space and closet space really are, because you love the house you're currently in, but you really need office space and closet space. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think that would contribute to your overall lifestyle and happiness?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I guess it would be an 8 or 9.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay.
Especially when we're on 2 different calls. Because, I mean, so the deal is sometimes there's a call going on and I speak Spanish fluently. Sometimes I'm in Spanish and Tila's talking in English. And if we're in the same, kind of in the same area and I can hear her, then I get distracted. She can hear me. She gets distracted. I can't just stand outside in 100-degree weather talking to people. I mean, it's, it's definitely up there.
Okay. So basically, you're staying in the area, and if I earn the opportunity to be in business with you, it sounds like I can help you find where you're going.
Yeah.
And if you throw in a pool, that'd be definite plus.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what do you think is more important? Getting the highest price, selling in the shortest time, doing the least repairs or improvement money, all of the above?
Can you repeat that? Say that again. What do I think is the most important, or what do we think?
Yeah, well, like getting the highest price, like no matter how long it takes, or maybe selling in the shortest time with a reasonable amount of money, right? Not lowballing it.
Mhm.
Doing the least repairs or improvement money, because we haven't discussed that, but if there were things that the house needed to be done, do you have the kind of cash it takes to do that? Or all of those above equally important?
I don't know. I think they're all equally important. I mean, the house is pretty much done. I think we kind of been knowing that, for a short time that we were going to sell. So we did some modifications. I mean, some repairs, and we made sure we kept everything up to date. Price is definitely number 1, I would say, on that list.
Yeah, I would say that too. I'm not too concerned about the repairs, to be honest. I just don't think that it's going to need a whole bunch of repairs at all. So that's not really that much of a concern as far as I'm concerned. And if we do need to, I mean, it's not like we won't have anything to do it with. We're fine that way. So I would say, yeah, definitely getting the best price out of it. And then number 2 would be the time frame. And then number 3, as far as concerns, would be the repairs.
Can I ask you a question about that? I just want some clarity. You said getting the best price. And Jeremy, I'm confident I can get you the best and highest price today that the market will allow. If it doesn't meet the highest price you desire in your own mind, are you willing to wait for the market to meet your expectations?
Time is relative. So I don't mind waiting, but it depends on how long we're waiting. If we're going to wait for 3 years to find that right price point, no. But if we're talking about a couple months, I'm fine as long as I'm not moving in the middle of winter. So I don't know if that answers your question.
It does. I still have a few more.
Okay.
First of all, I love that you said time is relative. So is money. Would you agree that if we have to wait until, say, next spring to get the price you desire, that any other home you're looking at will have also increased in value?
I would say that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're looking to upgrade, would you say that there is then a greater amount of money you might be spending if we wait until spring to sell your home for the price you desire?
Sounds reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could get you the best absolute price today for this market, would that be your priority?
I would say yeah, but what about commission?
We can definitely get there. I'm almost there, actually. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that goes to what I was thinking. I was thinking net as far versus that price for the house. I mean, if you get the price that we want for the house, but we get paid like, hardly anything because of, I mean, we're the ones that put all the work into it.
Right? Absolutely. And you're the ones that took the risk. So let me ask you this, Jeremy Tila. If you do not hire a real estate agent, what is your strategy to get the highest price in the shortest period of time?
Well, just keep it up on Zillow, and it's a great house. We've got to get a buyer for it. It's up there. It's out there. Everyone can see it.
Yeah, I agree. And then also what we were talking about just a little bit ago, we were going to get one of those basically for sale by owner, but they put it on the MLS for you. So it's like they charge like 1% or 0.5%, or I forget what it is. Tila looked more into that than I did, but that's what we were looking at doing next. She's like a marketing. She's a marketing genius. What can I say?
Break script for just a moment. I'm thinking to myself, the marketing genius has achieved 3 showings in 3 weeks.
That's because he's a good husband and doesn't want to, get in trouble later.
Jeremy, I can appreciate, I love how complimentary you are of your wife, and I can appreciate that you see her as a marketing genius. And I would say that that can go a long ways. Would it help you to understand that as a real estate agent, it's not really my highest and best use to actually get your house under contract? Would that surprise you?
Yeah.
What does under contract mean?
It means that you've received an offer through your marketing or through others' marketing that you find acceptable, and you've signed around the contract, and now the real work begins.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can appreciate that marketing is important. In fact, I also have a marketing degree, which I don't like to say that in these scripts because nobody else can use that. I like to keep these scripts as blanket as possible, right? I can appreciate that. I work for a company that has provided me thousands and thousands of pieces of marketing material and opportunity in many different ways, and I'm happy to review that with you. Marketing is incredible and important. And let me ask you this. When you think about marketing, is it more important that you provide a buckshot attempt at marketing, or do you think being laser focused would bring in more buyers?
I think laser focused.
Okay.
See, and I was going to say the buckshot thing, because I mean, to me, it's like numbers. If you throw enough mud on the wall, something's got to stick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe that might be better.
Okay.
Maybe we should open up more Craigslist accounts and put them on like several of them.
That is an absolute possibility. So I want to talk about what your marketing is
Tila's trying not to laugh. Sorry.
So let me tell you what your marketing is going to get you. Your marketing is going to produce one of 4 types of buyers. Would you like to hear about those buyers?
Okay. Yeah.
So you can identify them.
Yes, definitely.
So buyer number 1 is that buyer who's going to be in a hurry. That's not you, right? But it's the buyer who maybe sold their home. So let's say you get your house on the market, you sell it for sale by owner, and now you need to buy a home. And you're in a hurry because your buyer wants to close in 30 days. So now you have to find a house to close on in 29 days or 28 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're in a hurry and you need to find something this weekend. Buyer number 2 is someone who's maybe not quite as in a hurry. They need to sell their home, or maybe they want to find the right home first before they sell their home, or maybe they're a first-time home buyer. But either way, when people are that cautious or precautionary, they tend to make sure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, so that they can make sure that when they're making that decision, that it has been thoroughly vetted and they're confident in their decision making. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I might even recognize a little bit of that in you guys. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The third buyer is an investor. The investor is looking for a deal. They're not looking to pay you dollar for dollar what your home is worth. An investor is looking to pay you less than what it's worth because there has to be enough skin in the game for them to turn around and fix it up and sell it, right? So maybe they want to pay somewhere between 40 and 80 cents to the dollar. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I've had a couple of-
lastly, the fourth person, that fourth buyer who's going to call you or show up at your open house, which you can't have right now, but might even inquire, those are who I call the looky-loos. And they're really not a buyer at all. They're looking to check out your decor, or they're dreaming about buying their home, but there's no way for them to get pre-qualified.
Mhm.
So out of those four buyers, which buyers are you hoping to attract with your marketing?
I guess like the first two, definitely, you know, either one of those would be good because they're serious.
Do you think that most buyers who have to buy a home in one weekend are going to go out and just look at what's available in the for sale by owner department? Or do you think they're going to hire a professional agent who will cost them $0 to put them in the car and use their magic keys to open up everything that's on the market, which, let's face it, there's not a lot, and potentially has homes that haven't even been listed yet that they can show them? Which scenario do you think that buyer is going to choose?
And we're talking about which buyer?
Buyer number one.
The one that wants to get it done as quick as possible.
Yes, they have to buy within they have to buy and close on their home in the next 30 days, 30 to 45 days.
Yeah,
They're going to get an agent.
Okay. And buyer two, they want every I dotted, every T crossed. They're considering all their options. They want to know all the information before they make the decision. They want to be very confident that they're making the right decision. Do you think that they're going to go it alone, or do you think that they're going to pull in a third-party expert that costs them $0 to help them decipher, disseminate, and come up with the right information to make sure they're making the right decisions?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if those two buyers are the buyers you want to work with, then what does that leave you if they're working with agents?
Yeah, I mean, I could see there's like a lot of investors and a lot of people that just want to look.
Yeah. Or
And
somebody
like
who's not
I
going to
said-
do anything.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jeremiah.
Or somebody who's not really wanting to do anything, just kind of messing around.
So the thing is like, that's just the marketing piece, right? Then once you have the contract, what's next? How do you make sure that gets to closing? Right now, we have a huge fallout rate for a lot of various reasons, which I'm happy to review. But suffice to say that getting a house from under contract to closed right now, that's where my expertise comes into play.
Okay.
Okay.
So out of, just as an example, out of those three buyers, how many of them wrote offers?
None.
Yeah. I don't
How
think
many of them do you have all their information?
Yeah, I do have two of their information. One of them, no, they weren't. I didn't feel like they were very serious. I didn't bother.
Okay, so those two people that had that information, how many of those two people have you called back regularly?
I haven't.
And if you had called them back regularly, could you offer to show them additional houses so they could narrow it down and you could point them in the direction of your house?
Well, no.
Mm-mm.
Okay, because even sometimes the elimination showing is the best showing to have to get the offer on your house. Do you understand what's coming on the market every single day? Could you explain to them why they should buy your house based on recent data? I know, Jeremy, you said that nobody is closing on houses right now, but 200 homes went under contract in the past 2 weeks, none of which were your house. Why do you think that you only had 3 showings in 3 weeks, and in 3 weeks we've closed on 300 homes?
I have no idea.
I also want to help you understand that numbers don't lie, and we're selling and pending more homes this year than we did last year.
Wow.
So the market is on fire. Like you said, Tila, right?
Yeah,
She's
because I've seen
smart,
these
right?
houses.
She's super smart.
I told you.
I've seen the houses that are for sale, but you know, I know that of course if you have an agent, it's you know, good, they're going to sell faster, but you know, we were also concerned with commission and knew that it might take a little more longer, but we would save more money.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I want to get to that really soon. Just a few more questions. When you go to buy your home, if you sell your home and you accept an offer that's closing in 45 days, do you know enough about me? Are you willing to hire me to help you find that next house, knowing that you don't have to pay me?
Well, yeah, if we would use you to go buy when we decide to go buy. I mean, you
Yeah,
sound-
definitely.
Awesome. Then I would love the opportunity to list your home as well, because I'm going to be highly motivated to get your home sold so that I can get 2 paychecks. And I'm willing to provide you a lower commission of 5%, offering out 2.5% to 3% to the listing agent or the buyer's agent. You guys can decide whether you want to offer 2.5% or 3%, right? But I'm willing to reduce my commission to 5%. And I can promise you that in today's market, based on my marketing and techniques and my ability to negotiate, that I will get you the highest price available for your home. So what I'd love to do is I'd love to talk about my marketing plan. I'd love to talk about how we can smoothly transition you from one home to the next so that you fully understand the process in a way that works for your family. And I'd like to get that listing agreement signed tonight, and then we'll come up with the right price. Because the reality is we don't have to choose the price tonight. And ultimately, you'll get to decide the choice of how you want to list your home, but the market will dictate the most that is being that the market will pay for your home. And I'm going to go through your house, and I'm going to help you stage it and prepare it based on these list of items that I'm going to suggest you do. And if there's 100 things on the list, you can do 50 of them, you can do 100 of them, you can do 10 of them, but how many of them you do will help you get closer to the price you're asking. Does that make sense?
Yeah. To me, it does.
Okay. Well, you said 5%, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, we had at one point talked about maybe paying a buyer's agent 1%.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, would you be willing to come down, like say we're willing to pay you 1% and then we'd offer a buyer's agent 1%?
I'm not. I can appreciate that you want to do that, but I have a lot of different deals. So let me ask you this. Wherever you work, Tila, where do you work?
I work at Kohl's.
Okay. So when you went to work at Kohl's, and if you received a job offer somewhere else and they said, we're willing to pay you twice as much as Kohl's, and in this case, really almost 3 times as much as Kohl's, and you still worked at Kohl's, like, how long would you keep that job at Kohl's?
Sorry, somebody walked in. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. Here's the deal. I don't want to take any more money from you than I have to, but the bottom line is my minimum is 2.5%. And we can decide what you want to pay the buyer's agent, but I'm only going to work at my minimum is 2.5%. And so if you want to pay the buyer's agent less, we can do that, but I'm concerned that we're not going to attract nearly the amount of buyers we could get.
Right.
But you did say you're going to help us transition into that other home.
Absolutely, which is why I wouldn't charge you 6. Normally I would charge you 6, and then I would credit back 1% on your next purchase. That's how I normally do it. But you seem very price sensitive, and I want to earn your business tonight, so I'm putting my best foot forward and offering you 5%.
Okay, so if we sign with you an agreement, would you be willing to keep everything the same? But if you have any problems with trying to get us to transition in, you'll put us up in a hotel until we get into the other house?
No, I won't, but I'm not worried that that's going to happen, because we're going to be in really good communication the whole time, and I'm not going to let you make a decision that would put you in that situation.
Okay. Well, I think maybe, you know, I mean, it sounds good, but maybe we should talk about it.
Oh, I absolutely think you should talk about it. Here's the deal. I'm going to leave my listing presentation here. I'm going to leave my listing agreement here. I'd love to connect with you tomorrow. And honestly, if you don't feel like I'm worth hiring, I wouldn't want you to hire me because I don't want you to feel uncomfortable in the next 30 to 60 days as I'm selling your house, right? And there are other agents out there, including the MLS, that will list for a low fee, no problem. But what I said and what I meant was, and at this point, I would go through my process of what I do, is that marketing is just step one. So most of the time, unless you have a high C personality, they don't want to hear anymore. You've hit the high I because you're going to make it an easy, fun process. You've hit the D because they don't want to talk all the details. They just want to know you get it done. And you've hit the S because they feel very relational with all these questions you've asked them. So unless it's a high C, which I am, at which point I'd be like, all right, show me how you're going to do it. Show me your process.
Right.
And then I would, and I have that process. And then I would just take them through and I would go over to my process and I have a page and I can print it out and it's available to you guys. I've already shared it with almost everybody. Hold on. Maybe not Haley and Bill. Let me see.
Am I shared on there too?
Yes, you've been shared on there for a very long time, but I'll send it to you again just in case if you don't show up.
See, if this was actually going on, I mean, if Tina and I were together and this is the whole thing's going on, I would actually say, can we just step aside for a little bit? And we would go in the other room and I would say, look, let's let this lady do this thing. She sounds like she knows what she's doing. And if everything comes out without any hiccups, then I'll give you $500 to spend in Macy's. That's what I would do, honestly. That's just the way I would work it. Just so you know.
So you're sold. You sold with Eric. With oh my God, you're sold with him.
Yeah.
But there's always one that's like.
Well, because to me, it would be like I can make the money that I would lose in the percentages in the time that she's selling my house instead of me having to work at it.
So, okay, let's just go into, here's what I'm going to do for you, right? So you can be like, hey, you guys stepped aside and we just have a few minutes left. We have 6 minutes left. But Tila, you can be like, you know what? I need to hear your program. I need to hear what you're going to do for us.
Yeah, I mean, I need to hear it. So.
All right, let me take you through the process, Tila. First of all, if you decide you want to hire me, we're going to review and sign the listing contract, which I have right here. And then I'm going to arrange a staging consultation like we talked about, where I'm going to talk about the things that can add value, whether it's painting the door for $200, so I have a painter will come in and do $200, to packing like you're going to move, right? Because people buy because of emotion. They don't typically buy because of facts. There's a few of us, and I'll be the fact person for you. That's my personality. But facts make you think, emotions make you act. And so we have to create an environment that people feel compelled to live in. And so one of those things is people are moving to your house because they're probably moving up or they're moving down. But either way, we're going to feature benefit your house in a way that is going to attract as many possible buyers. And part of that is getting rid of 75% of the stuff that you own in a box somewhere else so people don't think like there isn't enough room. And you already mentioned closet space being a sensitive issue. So we want to make sure that we pack everything out of your kitchen, out of your closets, all of those different things. So we're going to go room by room for that staging, okay? Number two, we're going to choose a target date to launch your marketing campaign and schedule the photographer. Then once those pictures get back, we're going to be able to design the marketing material in advance of that for anticipation of those photos. And we're going to review showing tips and procedures, talking about how we want to set the stage, right? Like if you go on a date, you make sure to put on your lipstick, shave your legs, and wear perfume, right? It's the same with the house showing. We only get one opportunity at that first showing to make a good impression. Then as we choose that week of launch, which in your case should probably be next week, we're going to open the door for the photographer. We're going to review and finalize your marketing material. We're going to install the lockbox. We're going to mail postcards to the surrounding neighborhood. We're going to email approved flyer that you'll approve to local agents. We'll personally call and invite the top agents to preview your home on Friday. and we're going to follow all the COVID rules. So we'll actually set up showings basically 15 minutes apart so that we can get agents to preview your home before it even has the virtual open on Saturday. And then we're going to enter the listing into the MLS. The first week on the market, we're going to make it live on Thursday. The sign will be installed Friday morning. We'll implement online target marketing campaign through our target marketing through Keller Williams. We're going to post it on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com, Craigslist, Facebook, KW.com, TheLaukaGroup.com, and over 300 other websites that will be syndicated out to. And then we're going to hold a virtual open house on Saturday, where we're going to call through our database and invite anybody who might be interested to set up an arranged time and appointments to look at your listing. And then we're going to follow up on any feedback from our showings. And then moving forward and ongoing, we're going to be available to show the home and present offers. We're going to report weekly on market conditions. We're going to show property to prospects, and we're going to review price based on agent input and market conditions, so that every single week we're having conversation around why your home should sell, how we can help it sell, what adjustments we need to make so that we can hit your target date. Additionally, we're going to review any offer received, provide a new net sheet with each and every offer so you know how to address that offer, whether you want to counter, whether it's acceptable, inform you of any changes in the market conditions, and provide pertinent info in a timely manner. Obviously, I wouldn't speak quite that fast when going through my marketing, but are you capable of achieving all that, right? I wouldn't say that to them, but how do you feel about that? Is there anything in that process that I missed that you would want to happen during your, the listing of your home?
Oh yeah. So I'm like listening to you. Yes, I would. I mean, definitely. That sounds like great. Like a lot of stuff there. It goes.
Ready to sign? Step one is sign the contract. Are you ready?
I'm
What do you
signing
think?
it.
All right, Jeremy, let's do it.
Because basically what she's telling us is that we're going to be able to kick back and have some drinks and she'll be doing all the work.
Absolutely, because that's what you're paying me for.
All right.
Jeremy's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
That's right.
Okay, we have a few minutes. Anybody have questions? And this is recorded and it will be put in E2P, so if you want to rewatch it.
That's what I was going to ask. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Can I have a copy of that? I looked at my agent resources for the listing presentation.
Yes, marketing plan of action is in the Lauka group. And then questions-based, PC questions-based, I will share that with you guys. Yes, I will share that. It is also in the Lauka group as well.
I don't have
seller's
access to the
process?
Lauka group.
Okay, hold on, let me
Yeah.
share with you real quick. I'm sorry, I thought I just, sorry, Gigi.
That's okay. I only have the agent resources.
I'm sharing with you right now the Lauka group, because these are what I've developed over the years. This is not Keller Williams. This is what I've developed over the years, my systems.
And, sorry, how do you get to that log? Is it through Facebook?
No, it's through it's in your Google Drive, and I just emailed it to you. So you should have something in your Keller Williams email.
Okay.
Let me. Oh, okay.
And
I
there's
see
a
it.
lot in the Lauka group. There's a buyer's process, there's a seller's process, there's the marketing plan, there's all kinds of stuff in there. There's a flight book list. There's way more info than you ever want to have in there. I add stuff there regularly. As an example, here's the seller's process. I've got you're preparing your home to move PDF. I include that in the emails, right? Like, here's seller's listing, and this is a pre-email. Everything I said I was going to do is included in these emails. Remember I said leading up to the list, week of launch? It's all right here, and I've attached like a sheet on how to do water heater straps and CO detectors, and all the stuff so that you don't miss anything. So when you go to closing, like you've given it to them in writing, and they can't be, I don't remember you saying that I couldn't take the curtain rods and the curtains aren't attached. I'm like, I sent you that email 10 times. This isn't just once. I tell them all the time the things they can and cannot take, so it's not missed. So literally, like, there's emails pending, So then I'm like, pending appraisal in. Once the appraisal is over, blank, your contract closing date is blank. Obviously it needs to go full swing of moving. Please leave the house and broom clean. For moving, we recommend, if you choose, blah, blah, and actual closing. Your contract says you are leaving. And even this, it says, keep in mind that anything in the house after 9 p.m. on the day of closing is then considered property of the new homeowner. So if there are pots in the yard, Art, that you want to keep, then get them there. However, all things that are attached or planted are considered part of the deal, including curtain rods and even curtains, though those are not attached. Your contract also says you're leaving washer and dryer or refrigerator or the dog. So this whole thing, it's to even remind you, like, oh, I have to add these things in, right? So it's really meant to be super easy to make the whole process go in a way that your clients are not disappointed, because the point of getting a client, in my mind, is not to get a client and get paid, but that client over the life of your career should refer you 7 more deals. And so it's not a $10,000 commission, it's a $70,000 commission, and I want the 70. So you have to provide exceptional service. And if you don't, which 99% of exceptional service is, 95% of exceptional service is communication, and the other 5% is following through on what you said you would do, right? So if you do those 2 things and you say it with a smile, then you'll be golden. Ron, do you want to add anything? I'll take that as a no. Bob?
No, you covered it very well.
All right. Any more questions? All right, was this valuable? Was this helpful? Did you get something?
Very valuable.
Yes.
Yep,
Awesome.
Thank you.
definitely.
Awesome.